Welcome back, everybody. It is Tuesday night, and it's time for another episode of and catch this new name, the Don and Giles Show.
Hiya.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. And Don, welcome. Good to have you
Thanks,
here.
brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How are things?
What was that?
What was what? I don't know.
Oh, shit. Hold on. That's me.
Are you gone?
Yeah, no, I'm not gone, man. I think I got that handled there. We just had some cross-pollination and some sound, you know.
I see. I opened in another window. I'm with you. Yeah. So how you doing, man?
Doing really good. Getting ready to fly out at Ass Crack 30 to go to New York City and experience the Macintosh and Sony Faber House of Sound.
Oh, that's going to be super cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked.
Don't they have that setup that they were showing at, what was it? CES last year, maybe? It's like the Sony Faber. Yes, like the two big things, and then like the two humongous subwoofer things.
Yeah, they have that there, the $750,000 flagship.
Yeah, that thing is amazing, and they'll have like a Macintosh stack of like 800,000 different boxes behind it.
Yeah, it's like you get a tear in my eye looking at that, mesmerized.
It's all good. I love it. And shout out to Hi-Fi Haven. He was out there. I think when I started the stream, it killed his one comment that he had up there. But welcome to Hi-Fi Haven, and then Mel is here with us as well. Howdy.
What's up, Mel?
But yeah, man, that's going to be a fun trip. What you going up there? You're going to create some content over there, or what's the plan?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, so the integrator company that I work for is a Macintosh dealer since like 1977, and they sell quite a bit of it. They actually have a huge showroom that's being redone right now. They had a little fire in Gainesville, Florida, right next to the University of Florida campus. But I am covering territories around that, you know, for builders and designing systems and meeting with clients and whatnot. And I'm going to be helping them with their social media, you know, starting their own YouTube channel and that type of thing. So yeah, it's they're like, hey, we did a Macintosh training a couple weeks ago in Orlando. It was really great. Helped me learn more about that line and really the incredible amount of effort they put into design and construction.
That's awesome.
I know a lot of people, because it's almost cliche, oh, Macintosh this or that. I mean, Macintosh makes killer products, and they sound great. They look amazing. I mean, everybody knows. They know,
but they're iconic. Yeah,
they're iconic. But you know, they won't fry your speakers. I mean, they've got some really cool patented technologies that they use, and I'm a fan, man. I mean, I don't think anybody would ever knock you having Macintosh gear in your system. It's just pricey, but you know, most things that are worth having are pretty pricey.
Yeah, you know, that's there are a handful of things out there that I've always wanted that I haven't had a chance to have yet. Like I'd like to have a set of TAD speakers. I just love those. And then I've always wanted some Macintosh gear, and I haven't had any yet. I don't know what I would want. I mean, an amplifier or monoblocks, you know, that's kind of like the obvious thing, but you know, I think maybe like a CD player would be kind of cool too. I don't know.
I mean, a full stack would be cool, you know, the little room correction system, or
sure.
Is it the House of Sound or the House of Bose now? You know,
so let's go ahead and bring the elephant in the room out, right? Since we're talking about this already. So Bose did buy Macintosh Group, and the Macintosh Group includes both the Macintosh brand and Sony Faber. Is there anything else in there?
I think they work with Michi too. And or yeah, they because at the Audio Advice show, I don't know if you.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. Did you hear the Sony Faber Sonetta G3s with the Michi equipment? Actually, that's one of my favorite sounds at the show. Those are killer speakers.
Yeah, I'm trying to look and see who, you know,
it's something to do with Michi. I'll find out more. I'm going to do some video, shoot some stuff while I'm there. They said I could, you know, have break bread with the guys. I mean, they're good people at Macintosh and very passionate about their product and about sound. And I'm excited to check it out. Here's some of the new Mac speakers. Like they're little, I don't know if you call it a bookshelf. They're like throwback speaker But I'm a huge Sonus Faber fan. In
That's
fact,
cool.
there's not many, if any, speakers out there that can match that craftsmanship and that sexiness that only the Italians seem to, and now the Nordic people, I would say. But
Sure.
definitely love those speakers.
So Michi is actually Rotel. So Michi is a Rotel brand.
It's a high end, yeah.
Macintosh has CL-Phi, whatever that is. Fine Sounds APAC. The House of Sound is one of their brands. Fine Sounds France is one of their brands. Okay. Macintosh, Sonus Faber. Fine Sounds America. Fine Sounds UK. Fine Sounds Benelux. And Sumiko Phono cartridges.
Sumiko used to be a giant distributor of multiple high-end brands. And good to see they're still around. Very, very much turntable centric.
Yeah. So, I don't know that I have a really strong opinion one way or another around the purchase. I've watched, the news today, and a lot of people do have really strong opinions. I'm just curious how it'll work out in the long run, right? So, does Bose just do they want the IP? Do they want to integrate that into Bose products to make like super lifestyle so they can compete with like B&O or Steinway Lingdorf or I'm just any.
How are they going to get the blue lights on a powered soundbar that and charge $6,000? I don't know where it's going to go. I'm, as we were talking earlier, I'm, for reasons over the years, not a huge fan of Bose, just for their legal actions and the way they're kind of bullies, corporate justification or not, and seeing it affect people. But whatever. I mean, it's new day. That's many years ago. Might be a good thing. I mean, at least a corporation owns them now that's audio centric or used to be audio centric.
Sure, sure.
I mean, making noise canceling headphones doesn't make you an audio company, but they do make great headphones. I would give them that. Some of their commercial stuff's pretty good. My dad loved his Bose Wave radio. Paul Harvey got him. I mean, no strong objections.
Paul Harvey was the best. Yeah, he was really good. So a couple of comments out here. Does the purchase give Bose some swag? Swagger. I don't know if it gives them swagger or not. I think it depends what they do with it. And then Macintosh Bose cubes. Maybe it would be like Sonus Faber cubes.
Today from Italy, mass suicide and speaker company. I don't know. I mean, who knows? I mean, since 2008-ish, you've seen this consolidation of companies. Sound United, or formerly Sound United, Massimo, Limbrook, like multiple companies.
Yeah, the Vox stuff.
Buying up, Samsung buying the Harman Group, So I think when you get that corporate, you take the magic, you just do. That's what corporations do. They always have and they always will. You take a little of the magic away. I know the industry was a different industry before that, and before that started happening. I know a lot of companies kind of had to, and I understand to keep people working. But back in the day, years before pre-2008, I mean, you would know the owner of a company, and you would have a relationship with them when you were a dealer or whatnot, even a consumer sometimes. And some of that has been taken away with, one parent company owning this, and this. You would think there would be a great benefit to that. Maybe there is, but I mean, you see a lot of similar products from established brands that traditionally would have nothing to do with each other. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope it works out.
I wonder, because there has been a huge amount of consolidation, right, of brands over the last several years, just like you said. I'm just curious, does that to you signal that there are just too many brands out there right now that
bite your tongue,
can't make it as standalone?
I think, hard economic times. I know one of my local product reps told me that October was the worst month they've had in 10 years. Now I know the election was coming up and yada, 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 and whatnot. Hopefully, you know, it wouldn't matter who won after that. I think it's going to level out, but I don't know if it's a good thing. I think some companies had to do it to survive. I think maybe principals at companies were just trying to get out, maybe in some cases, and get paid.
Sure. Yeah.
Sometimes it was a noble, we need to keep people working. You know, I'm not really sure why they decided to do that. And I know there's different compelling reasons, but I have not seen a tremendous benefit from a conglomerate affecting a particular company. You would think influx of resources, influx of management. What you do see is a lot of, you know, corporate blanket coming over and, you know, and I was trying to interview a guy at an audio show last year, and he's like, "Oh no, I can't talk to you about that. You got to talk to Joe Schmo." I'm like, "For real?" Like,
I've had that happen a lot too. You know,
yeah.
try and talk to somebody like, nope, I can't talk about this product. It has to be this person who's trained. I usually get that like at the Samsungs and the Sonys and the LG booths and stuff like that. The only certain people are allowed to talk about stuff. And then there's another brand that I was going to create some content for, and they're like, "Oh, you can't film this thing when we have this screen up because it has this image on it, and we're not allowed to have that image in any materials that feature blah 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 blah." So it's it's like crazy. I don't know.
No, and I'm not talking about distribution groups. You know, like a Sound United, right? And you probably know those guys, you know, Steve and his whole crew. Absolutely wonderful, incredibly knowledgeable, incredibly seasoned veterans of the industry, and just great people. And they represent a lot of lines. And, you know, these products, especially European or less mainstream, I would say obscure, but, you know, that's a good way for them to more or less get exposure and get access to marketing and channels to sell their product on. So that's been a good thing for the industry. And I believe it's just, again, but, you know, opinions are like, whatever, everybody's got them. But I have seen, you know, one of the cool things about being in the business so long, other than aging, is that you get to see what it used to be. You know, I mean, it was like sit down in a sound room for 3 hours with a sales guy and let's jam out and talk about, you know, the speaker and the story and engineering and really kind of get that whole experience. Because, you know, this whole wave of science has been a double-edged sword. It's been very good for the audio industry, meaning people now as a theater designer and some of my people that I work with and know that are out there, it's a great tool to have so you can understand what a capability of a speaker is in an anechoic chamber or whatever, or a Klipsch, sorry, not Klipsch, and it's good, but I think people are so caught up in the measurements and this and that they're losing sight of how does it sound in a room? How does it sound to you? You know, just it's bad. It's not good, because if a speaker doesn't measure completely perfect, doesn't mean it's a bad speaker. Now, if it's really off, obviously that, and I'm glad we have this science and peer reviews and whatnot. But if it sounds really good, you like the tone, you like the sound, how it acts in a room is a lot different many times than how it is in an anechoic chamber. Using Martin Logan's box speakers as an example, they might not measure as good as some others, but they sound really good when they're put in a room. But there's this kind of a cult built around it, and you know, like Audio Science Review and some of the other, you know, guys, they've almost bred a hateful, you know, in the name of science. You know,
it's a very toxic kind of thing. Yeah,
it is toxic, and it's not. You know, then everybody's a paid shill because they only have good reviews on products. When's the last time you reviewed a bad audio product? Like bad? I mean, it happens, but
I don't review bad equipment. I send it back.
Well, yeah,
you know what I mean. And but I get your point, meaning that most of the stuff I get is pretty darn good, right? You know, the companies that I want to work with are always pretty developed, pretty mature,
of course,
and they know what they're doing, right?
they vet out a new product and test it.
Yeah, they're not going to send something crappy to me for sure, right? Now, I've taken a risk on like some smaller companies that out of China that really they're like,
Right.
oh, we sell our stuff on
They hit
Amazon.
you up every week with some ridiculous hot Chinese girl trying to sell you something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
named
I've
Sue.
gotten some of those that are just bad. I mean, that stuff is
cheap
bad.
speakers,
Yeah, I've got a little set right now. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna send you a set of bookshelf speakers, and they're really great. They're for your, we designed them to go on your desk, near field monitors for computers and that kind of stuff. And they have great bass and blah blah blah." And they arrive, and they're literally like this big with like a 1-inch driver, and it's
what we do at Audioholics, being the 800-pound gorilla for 25 years. There's a lot of things I'm not going to geek. This is our show here, but Gene has personally done so much to improve this hobby that people never know about, like getting a product, being an electrical engineer, having the $70,000-$80,000 piece of gear to test it, finding problems, finding things with crossovers, and then consulting with the engineers to improve it. So you, the consumer, gets dual bass outputs or managed bass or whatever that is. And we see products like when we saw Per Listen, we're like, we gotta check that out. I mean, it was just like, sometimes you look at a speaker and that makes sense in your brain. And that's what Per Listen did. I'm like, wow. Cause it kind of reminded me of the old school, like Atlantic Techs and M&K, THX speakers back in the day. And sometimes people bring new stuff to us. Like, a Arundel, sorry, I need to say it right. Arundel, reached out and they had this big, premiere of their new product, which I'm testing right now. But sometimes we get all kinds of, they send you like headphones and this and that and microwaves. So I
like the microwaves.
Listen, I know there's another big trend now. Everybody likes to call reviewers paid shills or worse, and they're biased. Well, look, humanity's biased, dude. If you think you're going to get somebody who's not biased at all, consult a robot. You shouldn't get products. Well, most of the time we have to send it back, unless it's a cheap or a headphone. Sometimes who wants a headphone back? It's been on somebody's ears. You know what I mean? But IEMs. Well, yeah, exactly. Or we get to buy at dealer cost, or which I could do anyways as a integrator, a dealer. What's wrong with that? Having a relationship, having dinner. Oh, you're going to dinners. If you think taking me out for a meal is going to sway my opinion and my reputation in public, you're an idiot. You need to live in your own petty world. Maybe the people that are yelling the loudest are the people that got issues, because I am an enthusiast above all. I'm a professional and I am a reviewer, and I do it. I don't make any money doing this. Really? You don't feed your family doing this, but I do it because I am absolutely an enthusiast, and I absolutely get excited like a little kid sometimes when there's a product that just really stands out. I get excited, and I love that. And if somebody wants to call me names, come tell me, whatever, dude. I the internet, you can't please people. Those people are just horrible. You're not doing things right until you have haters. Right? Well, yeah, you're not doing it. If you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong. Haters in my life, trust me. But at the end of the day, I know with the Audioholics family, and I know with you when we talk, and with my buddy Shane Lee and other guys out there, we talk about audio. Like we're like, oh, did you hear this? What do you think about that? And we have these big text strings, and it's just constantly talking about measurements and what they did in the latest calibration. It's not a business. Gene does it because he's done it so long. He makes a living. He sells advertising. He's got the website. He makes a decent living doing it. And what is wrong with that? Because thank God there's Audioholics and Stereophile and some of these companies out there, but we don't do this for the money. We do this for the passion. And it's a lot of work. You think it's not a lot of work. Trying to work a full-time job, trying to do this, trying to raise kids, trying to keep up with the world. It's not easy to do. And it's a shame. I'm even opening my house now because I'm an empty nester. My youngest daughter is almost 18, going to college. She lives with her mom. You know, what are they going to do? Rob me? I vet them a little bit, but I let people come over and listen. Hey, you don't believe me? Come over. Fly down to Florida. There's a great hotels by my house, restaurants. I'll pick you up from the airport. We'll go have dinner. Come back and let you make your own decision. What more can I do, brother? Like, what more can I do?
Yeah. You know, I agree with all of that. And I think that, you know, people who put in the time to create this content, I think they have as much a right to be paid for their time as anybody else.
We should have tons of electronics and speakers, and because that's what we do. Like, do you want a guy reviewing your stuff that's heard like 9 speakers, which kind of a lot of these influencers are brand new and they just don't have that experience. It's not means they're wrong or bad. And, you know, guys like Michael Youthman, who's a very good friend of mine. Michael never pretends to be an audiophile. He doesn't pretend to be technical. He's like enthusiastic, and he's like, he loves it. He's passionate about it. You know, now he's part of a company where they're selling some equipment, and people they're turning against him.
He's a dealer now.
Stupid.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah. It's good.
He's selling stuff he believes in. That's good. He's selling, you know, Dyne Audio and Perlisten and PSP. Why not? Why not buy from him and support him, the guy that's bringing you all these great theaters and, you know, his real everyday man reviews. He's not pretending to be, you know, I've invented this and blah, 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 and I'm revolutionizing things and you should listen to me. He genuinely loves it and decided to make the jump to make a living doing it. And he works really, really hard. Good for him. I think he has done a ton for this hobby personally.
Yeah. And he's just a good guy too.
He's a great guy. Like the guy you see online is exactly the guy is. He's the guy that would take your call at 2 a.m. if you're having a life crisis, and he would be able to help you. He really is that guy.
Yeah. So, well, you know, we'll have to get some of these folks to come on and chat with us on here one of these days too. See if we can get them to come say hi.
He doesn't like a lot of these other influencers always like little jabs and, oh yeah, you know, whatever, dude. Like he doesn't do that.
Yeah. Right on.
And neither do I.
So what? So that's the if we roll it back, let's see, where were we at in the conversation? So we were talking about we got off on the Bose big news, right? And
it's great.
Yep. So for anybody that's watching, if you have questions, you know, that's one of the reasons we're here. You know, drop it in. It doesn't have to be about what we're talking about either. It can be about anything, right? So it's all good. We're always happy to chat about that. You know, one thing I want to point out, and I don't have a lot to say about this at the moment, but you know, the holiday season is upon us. Christmas is coming soon. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and I love me some Thanksgiving.
No argument.
Yeah, and you know, I'm a big Christmas fan too, but I love me some Thanksgiving. And one of the things that I love about Thanksgiving, and this is more about the past than it is now, but you know, Black Friday used to be a big thing for me and my wife. You know, this is like 15 years ago, right? And you know, we get the newspaper and we go through it and we find the stuff that we wanted to get for gifts or whatever, or for each other. And we'd wake up the day after Thanksgiving at like 3 o'clock in the morning and go stand out.
You're those people, huh?
Yeah, we're those people, man. And it was the best time. It was awesome. And then, you know, later on we had kids and they grew up and they hated it. And now, you know, last year I went and bought the Thanksgiving Day newspaper, which used to be like 3 inches thick. And this thing was like a 1/4 inch thick. It had like one flyer in it. And I'm all like, well,
it's changed, man. I mean, I would rather stick bamboo shoots up my fingernails than shop in public, especially on Black Friday. But some people like that. You know, I'd rather, when I want to buy something, I research it to death, and I strike. Like, or I go I buy everything on Amazon now. It's just easy, and they got everything pretty much.
Sure. Now I'm not a shopper really either. However, for me,
it's like a tradition.
Dude, it was a tradition, but I just loved the good deals. And this is like when you had to go to the store at that morning to get the deal. You couldn't get it online. If you didn't go and stand in line, you couldn't get that TV for $499, right?
Oh yeah, they had 3 of them. Well, I worked at Circuit City 100 years ago, and they used to have like these 19-inch TVs for $89, like a loss leader, and they'd have like 15 of them, and there was 90 people in the line, and people would just get pissed, and they'd have to give them a flyer for it and all that. It was madness. But It is what it is, man. You know, retail in the country's dead. And unfortunately, the online sales, especially a lot of companies, and you know who you are the discount kings, Big Bill's Discount or whatever. I mean, they just ruined, you know, people with any audio shops left, people go in and waste the guy's professional time for 3 hours, gathers information, and save $200 on a $10,000 pair of speakers, ordering them online, which is complete BS and unethical. But it is what it is. And that's what we've created. Yeah. And unfortunately, you know, you just have to buy based on the opinions of reviewers, or that's why I think this is sacred. You know, I do. And what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? I mean, there are some showrooms left, but it's usually limited to big cities. Maybe. I mean, your Fargo probably doesn't have any high-end audio shops available. I mean, I got a buddy who lives in Fargo. He's an audio guy, but
I know who you're talking about.
Mark. Yeah, Mark's awesome. But you just don't. So that whole the paradigm shift, the whole dynamic has shifted, and now you go on YouTube and you know you got Billy Bob, who's been a hobbyist for 2 years, telling you what you should buy. You know, like, you know, it's, as a consumer, you should be able to look at and listen to people and make your own decision whether you trust that person or not. You know.
Yeah. Or I agree. And that's important, right? So when I watch, I go to YouTube a lot to get opinions about stuff, right? Because, you know, a lot of the stuff you can't see, right? Or touch or feel, right? It's just not available. But what I've done is I have found a set of people on YouTube that in general, I have the same opinion that they do, right? So when they look at something, you know, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to agree with their point of view on it. So I know that when they look at this product, that they like it, I'm probably going to like it too. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
So I've got that set of folks. Yeah.
But you know, I came from the high-end audio world. That's when I originally started in that, selling, you know, the traditional 2-channel guys, the old guys with hair ears and ponytails, and you know, like the ones you see at the audio shows. But so I came up in that world, but as I progressed, it got into a multi-channel world, and I started doing home theaters, and I've done systems well over $1 million, multiples. I mean, I do big systems. That's what I do for a living. So people pay me very well to guide them, design them a system. You know, they pay for my opinion. And to me, this was just a natural progression to that. But I don't use the effervescent sound stage was watery and tingly. And that I'm like, that shit rocks. You know, I plain speak people. I probably cuss too much, and I'm sorry. And all that. But at the end of the day, I'm real, and I do listen, and I got tons of experience in tons of different rooms, tons of environments, not just audio shows. And I try to articulate that. And whether people choose to believe you and I, Giles, or like us, is up to them. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it other than do the best I can do.
Yeah. And that's fine. Some will like us, some won't. And that's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's totally fine. So a couple of shout outs. So Mike Galusha, the Galush has joined. He's another Coloridian. I don't know how you say it.
What's up, Mike?
And Mike has got a awesome measurement rig, so he can take an amp and drop it on the rig and tell you everything about it.
He's audio precision.
I'm sorry.
Is it an audio precision? That's what Gene uses at Audio.
I have no idea. So Mike, if you if you're out there and you can tell us what you got going on, but he's our go-to guy here locally. If we have a question about is something good or shitty from a measurement perspective, he can tell us. He's super cool. And then Hi-Fi Haven is another Colorado guy. And then Double A's in the house. I can't remember where you're living at, Double A. I don't remember. But I don't think it's Colorado. So a lot of folks, yeah, right. Double A. And then John is here with us tonight as well. And a whole bunch of other people that are not asking questions. Don't make me call you out.
That's cool. It's
Michigan.
Cool.
Mr. Michigan.
You trying to wire your house. You're asking about some technology in the home. That's what I do, man. I'm offering my opinion in. Dude, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I don't know everything. I know some stuff. But nobody knows everything. And I have clients all the time. They'll see something in Forbes, or they're like, well, what about, this? And I'm like, I don't know, but I am going to know it tonight. I'll know every damn thing there is to know about it, and then bounce it off one cool thing about being in the audio industry, or as you know, is you have access to ask a lot of questions to engineers and people that design stuff.
That is really
That
nice.
most people don't
Yes.
necessarily.
Mm-hmm. It's like I just dropped that video on the Storm Audio upgrade where I replaced the HDMI board, right? So I've got an old Storm Audio ISP Elite Mark 1, so the first generation, and I wanted to upgrade for HDMI 2.1 and HDCP version 2. Whatever. Anyway,
Right.
and I reached out to the guys and talked to them, and I bought the board, and and I said,
Board people are killer, man.
yeah,
Matt
and
Drinkwin?
Matt. I talked to Matt. Yeah.
Matt's the bomb, dude. He is one of the coolest dudes, like huge enthusiast, incredibly smart. He's pretty too. Lucky I'm not gay, Matt. Not Matt.
So
great.
Mike says a Prism D-Scope 3, almost an AP, but less dollars.
Gotcha. Yeah, dude, it's invaluable. I mean, measuring an amp. Now, again, another thing, measuring an amp, some people are like, oh my God, it's got so much total harmonic distortion, but they don't tell you it's inaudible. And when you listen to it, you're like, that sounds really good. I mean, but you need to scientifically have. I'm glad there's the Aarons and the different people, the Genes that, James Larson's that works for us is a savant on reviewing speakers. I'm glad those people exist. I'm glad that specs are out there. I just wish everybody would chill a little bit and just like, how's it sound?
Right on. No, Hi-Fi Haven, you the man. If you like that video, you should watch my slat wall installation video because it totally matches with all my other content on my channel. Yeah, dude, I showed you how to drill it in, screw it on, everything.
Great, man.
Yeah,
they look
cut it and how do you tape it up, man. Yeah,
I don't know acoustically how much they help, but I know they look cool.
About this much.
I know. That many frequencies, man. But
the wall I used to have behind my screen was like a dark gray, and this stuff is black. It's not like super black, but it's pretty black, and it made a huge difference. And then when the lights are on, it looks so much better too with the texture. It's a big deal. Question for you. So, of all the houses you've helped design, what would be the biggest improvement after speakers and amps are taken care of for home theater? So after speakers and amps, well, I guess the biggest thing is just going to be
the speakers and amps are pretty easy. We're literally living in a renaissance now. Back, God, I keep saying it. Years in previous years, far a long time ago, we didn't have a lot of choices. You had either Triad or JBL Synthesis or Atlantic. I mean, you just M&K. You just didn't have that many options, and you found a speaker that you like, was consistent. Then you did it in multiple rooms, and it. Again, it didn't fail you. You kind of knew what to expect. Today, I mean, you got everything. You got per listen, high output, musical, RBH. You've got Ascendo. You've got, and I always leave somebody out, unfortunately. You've got
there's 12 billion different brands that are all wonderful.
There, anybody that tells you that brand A and brand B is going to be so much better because this, and this, they're just lying. Because if you have a good speaker, I want a speaker that has very good dynamics, good clarity. I like a speaker that sounds good in 2-channel, but a lot of times in theaters, it's not really an issue because it's behind an AT screen. Amplification, I like reliable, and that's something nobody ever talks about. And most of that has improved greatly, but most of the esoteric brands are notoriously unreliable.
Mm-hmm.
They just are. In years past, I would never touch an Emotiva. It was not a reliable product, in my opinion. There was a lot of products that just weren't that reliable. Now that has changed, and you're able to put a new board in a Storm Audio, which is really cool. But I go for reliability because my clients pay me because they want to go in their room and use it, and they don't want to reboot, reset, and have handshake issues with the EDID and whatnot. So that's pretty easy. Really understanding the space, speccing the amps and speakers correctly to the space to achieve the dynamics and goals that you want, but also budget is always an issue. I don't care how rich people are, budget's always an issue. It's really the room. I am a huge guy on mechanically treating a room. Speaker placement, isolation of the speaker, is very important. Everybody, oh, it's snake oil. No, it's not snake oil. That's retarded. Isolation of a speaker is super important. Positioning in relation to your seating position or seating positions, and acoustics. Acoustics are critical. Not over dampening a room or under dampening a room, but finding that you can design it, and then the sauce, just like when you can design a speaker on a computer, but adjusting that crossover and tweaking it is the sauce. That's what gets the speaker from A to B. Dan Romer and they're like laboring for hours over the per listen to get it right. I just see him, not midnight working on it. But really get the room set up, then tweak it. And aesthetics are important. Everybody says looks don't matter. Looks are hugely important, especially in a box speaker. I mean, otherwise people wouldn't make beautiful cabinets, and that's the majority of what goes into a speaker is the cabinet work. I mean, that's important. But yeah, probably treating the room. Now, other things I consider is, again, reliability. What brand is proven to be reliable? I don't necessarily, this reviewed better than anything. We've got to use this because it's got, 7 nits more. Is it work good? Does it look good? Is the projector quiet? Which is huge. I focus heavily on the environment, meaning air conditioning is always overlooked in rooms. 2 things. Number one, a lot of people have equipment in the room, so it's most theaters are hot. They're just hot. They're just uncomfortable hot, and seen it 100 times. And also how quiet the HVAC system is, meaning if you're watching A Quiet Place and the tension's building and you get the AC kicks on, kind of a damp, on the experience.
It's
so
a damp
many of your diffusers, enough tonnage to properly cool, returns in a room, or, as long as they're quiet, to make a room comfortable. And seating. I'm not a huge proponent of cheap theater seating, and I'm not going to name names, but everybody has them. Cheap theater chairs will fall apart quickly. Period. Drops the mic all the time. I've seen it. So I like better seating. If you're going to do theater seating, do a high quality chair, something that's going to hold up, something's going to last, because your kids are going to climb on it, teenagers, whatever, or otherwise get a sectional. I don't even like theater chairs really in a theater room that much anymore. I don't want the popcorn machine. I want like a comfortable environment where the lights go down and I'm immersed in the world of Spielberg or Lucas. I don't care about movie posters and all that. They can go in the hallway, But I know some people do want that. Curtains. Oh.
What do you think about the old style building, like the stage and all that stuff? Do you
I
like
hate it.
that?
I don't like it at all.
Like a stage.
I've done a ton of them, but with the curtains that open and I mean, whatever, it's cool. I mean, some people like that though. In some formal homes that I've done, it just works. But I'm just talking about subjectively, personally, I don't like it. I like a more modern, clean theater with, good acoustic treatments. I like when we designed Gene's house, I was instrumental in designing his room and all the electronics in his house. And I told him, let's do like wood floors. Let's make it like a studio. And let's, because you got to have carpet. Come on, dude. No, you don't. And let's do solid walls and do acoustic treatments on them. You can always add, if you want, like the whisper walls with the stretch material and whatnot. That's cool. If you like that look, I like he's got diffusers and absorbent panels, but that's subjective. My theaters are driven by the vision of my client, what they want it to be, not what I want it to be.
That makes a lot of sense. I think it's AA. There you go. That's a long answer to your. Yeah, I think
everything
AA, like you were gonna say cables or at the end or something. So what do you Okay, so let me roll back and get my thought done, and then I'm gonna ask you another question. So for Black Friday, if you guys are gonna buy, now's the time. I've got a link down below to my TV buying guide. If anybody's looking, that I rounded up, I think, the most popular sets and the prices and that kind of stuff. So if you're looking, check it out, and then hopefully that'll help you find the deal that you're looking for.
Yeah. Then go buy your Sony 9 series and be done.
Bravia 9. Ooh, let's go. Oh my God. And that's not OLED.
Have you seen those?
Yeah,
dude,
it's mini LED. Yeah.
Oh,
it's crazy.
dude, and black levels that are people are like, you know what you're talking about, comparable to OLED. Seen it right next to that's a killer TV. Wish they made it in a 98. Not yet.
One day. Yeah, that's good stuff. And of course, all the links are affiliate links. So,
but TV's your thing, right? You tell me, Giles, what gets you going? It's like a really killer picture. Even
I love it. Yeah. Well, LED walls are my thing. I don't have one. I don't know. I don't know that I'll ever get one any time in the near future.
You ain't that good, dude. Let me send you an LED wall to review. I don't know if we're going to do that right now.
I've asked a couple of times, and they're all like, no.
Really, you just, sir. That technology is rapidly growing. I called it 3 years ago when I started seeing these things. I was like, the first 4K, we did a job where you did a $500,000, 16-foot wide, 220-inch diagonal in a dude's office. But that thing literally looked like a high-end TV. It was just, I'm like, I know projectors aren't dead, and people get all offended when I say it's a cinematic experience. Dude, all my clients, I'm like, we're going to do this. They're like, do you have to use a projector? Because in their mind, it's still a sports bar, right?
Yeah.
But all things being equal, most people don't care. They don't give a shit about ISF, color retention. They want it to be bright and clear and pop. They don't care about all the stuff that tweakers care about. And that's cool.
And they want the lights on too. They
do. I mean, I'm just telling you, I do this every day. I know what people like.
But yeah, so one of these days, I talked to the AWOL Vision guys, and they're going to send me over to their AWOL LED.
The one that pops up.
So AWOL Vision, they're 3 companies now. So they've got AWOL Vision, which is their ultra short throw, and then they have the pop-up screens, right? They have the Valerian long throw lifestyle projectors. So those are based off of the lens and projection engine inside of their ultra short throws, but they adapted it for long throw. And then, they have probably done the best job of social media marketing that I've ever seen done on that product.
They've done a really good job. Yeah, they're everywhere. Them and SVS. I'm like, dude, like, I love you, SVS, but slow your roll, dude. Everything I go to is SVS.
Yeah. I get it. They advertise a lot.
A lot, dude.
Yeah. And then their third company is, so the short throw company is AWOL, AWOL, and the LED wall is AWALL, AWOL, instead of AWOL. So I don't know who they're reselling. If I'm sure they're reselling somebody who makes them, right? I don't think they're
count. Hey, 1, 2, 3. Whatever. I mean, so you like short throw projectors?
Short throw projectors have a place in the world. Do I like them? Not if I can. It has to be the right use case, right? So, and the best use case that I see for short throw projectors are like I was talking to a guy today, and he's got a basement. It's not like a walkout. It's just like a stairs down, but the stairs like they switch back, and they're kind of steep, and there's no way that he can take a 100-inch TV down. It just won't go. Even on the side, it can't. It just can't go.
Sure about that?
He's telling me that it's impossible to get 100. So,
but he can hang a screen.
What's that?
He can hang a screen. Or are you talking about the one that pops up?
No. I'm talking about a television.
If you can hang a screen, you can hang a TV, dude. I ain't buying
it. So he just said the TV can't make the turn to come down.
To get it into the
he can't get a 100-inch TV down the stairs into the basement.
Well, they make chainsaws, dude. Come on now.
So he's looking at an ultra short throw with a pop-up projector, right?
Yeah, okay,
because
that's cool.
That's
an ideal case.
That's where I see the use case at. Or maybe somebody who wants it to be portable and easy to move around. Although that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but it's easier to move one of those than a 100-inch TV. So that's where I see USTs. They have a use in life, but the picture off even the worst television is going to be as good as a short throw and most long throw.
No, for sure. That's why I asked that, because really a pain to set up. You know, they can be. And
Yeah.
where you can put your center, and you know, there's multitude of issues for it. You know, it's cool. It solves solutions, but now with TVs becoming 98, 110, 115, and 120 something down the road, just not really. You know, if you can hang a screen, you can mount a TV.
Yeah, the use case.
You know what gets me too, being an integrator, is people that buy TVs and set them on a cabinet. They never hang them. Ugh, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, hanging them makes a huge difference.
Or hanging them and leaving the wires hanging down when they can just fish them down the wall. Like, you went through the effort of doing it. Like, finish it.
If you're gonna do it, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just my own hang up because I'm an integrator, and if we ever have wires showing anything, people are like, "Oh my god," you know. So a little gun shy.
Right on. No, I hear you. But they just had the what is it? Projector Central did their projector ultra short throw projector shootout. I just got an email about it. Of course, they didn't invite me to come out and be a judge.
Don't they sell products too?
Yeah, they sell a ton of stuff. It is projectorscreen.com. So projectorscreen.com.
Okay.
And they did their shootout, and they had, gosh, I can't even read this thing. They had the Hisense PX3 Pro, another Hisense, the 4-movie, a couple of 4-movies, an Epson, Nexigo, XGMe, and a Samsung. And the Hisense PX3 Pro was the winner.
Would you look at that? You know, these other up and coming companies. I mean, the reality is a lot of these, the foundation of a lot of these sets are made in the same factory. I mean, that's why we went to 98 inch, not versus 100.
That's right.
Everybody's using 98.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean,
unless you're Hisense, then you have to do the 100 and be different.
It's cool though. I totally respect what they're doing. I'm telling you, I've seen a couple of their TVs. I was like, wow, those look really good. Really, really good.
Dude, have you seen in person their 110 inch?
Nope. Mm-mm.
It is phenomenal.
Is it?
It is fun. Yeah. So the flagships from both Hisense and TCL. So TCL's got their 115 inch flagship, and the Hisense has their 110 inch, and I think they're both mini LED, and they're like that Sony Bravia 8, 9.
Just consistent.
Yeah,
brightness. You're really taking advantage of HDR, really getting that pop and the color. It's super cool, man.
I don't know that they need to make TVs any brighter than those now. I think they have gotten to the point where those flagships are bright enough.
So way back in the day, I had a 35-inch Sony Trinitron tube. I had a bunch of TVs. Then I had a 40-inch Mitsubishi tube, the curved one. It was the world's heaviest TV. I think my ex-wife still has spinal damage from helping me move it. Then I got divorced from my first wife and really went on a bender, and I got a 42-inch ViewSonic EDTV plasma, and it was like $3,500 cost.
Right.
But I had a plasma TV in like 2002, and I was big pimping, dude. Yeah.
That dude, those plasmas are so good.
Oh yeah, it was like that thick. It probably still works.
Oh, I bet. So you had like the I guess what were the flagships? So you had like the Sony Trinitron
Pioneer Elite
tube, and then the Pioneer.
Yeah, Sony has dominated video forever. I mean, back in the 90s and the early there was just no question. Then Sony kind of veered off a little bit. Then Samsung and LG and these companies nobody had ever heard of necessarily. They're all big brand names now, but you go in a store 1998 and go, I would like to look at an LG. They look at you like you're crazy. Yeah, ProScan, that was RCA's high-end line.
Right. And
then Hitachi made a bunch of really good projection TVs. Then you had the DLP TVs. Mitsubishi made a ton of those. Mitsubishi made great TVs. Yeah. But really the Pioneer Elite, when the flat panels came out, hands down, best TV for decades. And to this day, I still have clients when they're doing a new house and we're putting all new stuff in there, like, where can we put my Pioneer Elite? I'm like, dude, it's time. No.
Let it
I paid $10,000 for this thing. I'm like, it won't work. I mean, it'll work, but you can't put
Yeah.
full high def on it or anything, but those are really killer TVs, Giles, back in the day.
Oh, I always wanted the top of the line Pioneer. The best I had was a Samsung Plasma of some kind. I forget what the model was, but it was pretty good.
Fujitsu made really super high end. I was selling 60-inch Fujitsus in 2003 for $18,000. I probably sold 6 of them.
Oh, wow.
For 18 grand for a 60-inch.
Wow.
I know it's preposterous now, but that's what it cost.
Man, well, you know, I look at that TCL 115-inch and it's 20 grand, and I'm thinking to myself, it's just 20 grand. I mean,
nobody that blinked an eye at it years ago. I mean, and TVs are a commodity. As a dealer, we don't make any money on TVs anyways. It's just, you know, they're Costco and Walmart and Amazon, or you shouldn't probably try not to buy TVs online if you can, because high propensity for getting damaged in shipping. You know,
I have a story that I can't tell publicly about broken TVs and shipping, but I've had the worst luck.
No, it's not just your luck, dude. It's very common. Very, very common, because they're fragile. If you take out these TVs now, they're like, they're not.
Yeah.
You took out a plasma, like my 42-inch plasma was a Haas, dude. It weighed more than my 85 Sony. It did.
Yeah.
You know, but now they're just fragile. You gotta be careful with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I've gone through thousands of dollars of broken televisions, many thousands of dollars.
Have you really?
Yeah.
And the shipping companies are great about it. It ain't our fault.
Yeah, we don't care.
We always check them when we get them in. Like we sell hundreds of TVs, you know, and we always have to check them. And there's a certain amount that, you know, because a lot of them are shipped freight, and people that ship freight, you know, unless they're on like with like a foam underneath the, you know, and really tied down good on a platform, you know, that it's a real high chance it's going to get broken.
Yeah, I got one a little while back, and it was like across the top. It was like shattered in like 3 or 4 places. It looked like somebody taking a hammer and just hit it. Like you take the plastic off, and then the glass just falls out. What are you
reviewing right now? Is it too numerous to talk about? What are you reviewing right now?
What stuff is in? Okay, so what am I going to review? So I think the next thing I'm going to do are some home theater seats.
Mm-hmm.
Some like the stuff that you were talking about, like low cost kind of stuff. You know, that they're actually really nice. The question though, and what I can't review and what I don't know, is how well they'll hold up over time. So
set your kids loose on them.
Yeah, right now they are pretty outstanding for the money. I mean, they're just pretty crazy good, but I don't know what it's going to be like in a year. You know, is like the leather going to come apart, and then
they're more complex than most pieces of furniture. I mean, there's mechanisms and motors and buttons and you know, a lot of things that go along with that. So that's why I feel like save your pennies. And I mean, it depends on what you want. If it's a room you occasionally use and you love that look, then go for it. Just be aware that if it's something you use on a daily basis, more often than not, those inexpensive theater chairs just disintegrate. They do.
Yeah, it's like
maybe that's proved. I haven't done cheap seats in a while, so
yeah. Upstairs in the living room, we've got a JCPenney sofa, and that has been the best thing ever. It is rock. It's like cream colored, almost white, and we throw a blanket over so we don't get it all sweaty and dirty. And man, that thing is just awesome. I mean, it's been kicking butt for years now. But anyway, so I'm going to do those. I finally got the theater kind of put back together, and I'm going to work on the review for those RBH towers and center channel. So that's coming. I've got a Aperion audio, the EH3, I think it is, the Energy 3 channel. Looks like 1,000 watts by 3. It's
really
baller. Yeah.
Who makes it?
Aperion audio.
How much is it retail? Do you know?
I can look online and tell you right now. Aperion audio EH3, I think it is. There E3H. It's $3,000. $1,000 a channel. 1,000 watts. $1 a watt per channel.
1,000 watts and 8 ohms.
No, I think it's 1,000 into 4.
Yeah,
Hold on, maybe I'm wrong.
most speakers are 8 ohms, so I hate
It
when
is 700 into 8 ohms and 1,000 watts into 4 ohms.
is an AB.
Yeah, AB.
Oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah, AB.
But
And
that's a Haas.
yeah, it's a Haas of an amplifier. It's more power than I need. It's cool. But so I'm doing that one. I'm
No. Shut your mouth. Never say that's more power than I need ever. Come on.
It's more
There's
power
no
than
such thing as too much power.
I only need 200 watts a channel. That's I'm okay. For the speakers that I'm running, that's enough. There are other speakers out there that are different. I know, but
I get it.
So now one thing I'm going to do that I'm really excited about, and I've been saying I'm going to do it for a while. I'm finally around to doing it because I got the theater back together, but it's the AVA Cinema remote.
Oh, yeah. Who's going to program it for you?
Me. I got a dealer login. Yeah. I got a
So I'm going to be doing a whole series coming up soon as a home automation professional programmer myself since 2007 for Control 4, evaluating. Since Harmony went away, it's left this huge black hole for good, easy to set up, consumer friendly, products. I mean, obviously I would say your best, the Ava, Control 4, Savant are bulletproof. I mean, they've been around, but what can you as a consumer have? And what do you want it to do? You want to control one room or you want to control a whole house? You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. So your series is going to be talking about the different options that are available?
I am going to reach out to a plethora of manufacturers. I'm going to try to get some products that are compatible with Thread and Matter. If you don't know what those are,
nice. Yep.
Yeah, that could potentially be a game changer. It's always a game changer coming. Zigbee is a game changer, and it kind of was. Z-Wave.
Yeah.
But those two, if everybody would play nice together, that would be a game changer. So I'm gonna review and see what's out there and give my honest opinion. I like this, or I have Control 4 at my house and I have for years. That's what I'm used to, and it just works all the time. Works great. It's easy to use my phone, but
right.
I program it. The average consumer would have to have their dealer add something or so, and it's pricey. So that might not make sense for everybody. I'm going to try to find alternatives if I can.
So have you seen there's a remote out there now that's end user programmable, and it's from somewhere in Europe. But if you look at it on the side, it's like I don't know, it tilts up on the front, and they're going to send me a review unit for it. And I can't even remember the name of it. It is nothing I had heard of before, but I saw it on Instagram come across my feed, and I commented and I said, "Oh man, this thing looks cool." Right. So I just, made a nice comment, and they're all like, "Would you like to make a video about it?" And of course I got sucked in because I'm like, "Oh, a remote control that you can program yourself. Maybe this is the next big thing." Right. Cause we need a next big thing, just like you said.
Right.
I can't.
Many try, the vast majority fail. Lighting control companies, remote companies, do-it-yourself automation companies, most of them fail. And a lot of those fail, not so much that they make bad products, it's that most people don't want to mess with it, or they don't have the network ability, and or most people don't like with Control 4, when you create a system, you pull in your components if they have drivers, and then you have a part of Control 4 where I'm going to connect my Apple TV HDMI to Denon receiver HDMI 2, and then Control 4 creates all the macros and it creates everything, which is really great. It does it all for you.
Yeah, it's really nice.
You make your connections on it. A lot of these don't necessarily do that, or people don't understand how the flow goes on a system. Source, amplifier, monitor out, monitor. Just a lot of people don't, or they'll run their something to a TV, then back out from the TV to the receiver. You've seen it. So that is why some of them maybe fail. They don't understand how to make it really truly easy. But we're getting to the point with AI and whatnot that I think that's going to get easier. AI is going to change.
Oh, dude, wouldn't that be awesome? You have a remote control, and you can be like, I've got a Trinov Altitude 16. I've got a TCL 98-inch TV. I've got a blah, 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 blah. Program this remote control so that when I push this button, it turns the TV on, sets this. Actually, just when I push this button, it'll show the Kaleidoscape on the TV. Go. And then it just does everything.
But then again, the remote has to be able to, now it can identify a product that's on a network with an IP driver, which dominates now. We used to use IR, RS-232, Partridge and a Pear Tree, whatever to control products. Now with IP drivers and even Control 4 and some, they'll identify products. But what most of them can't do is tell you what's hooked to what or what's what to what. I know DNLA and some of these other revolutionary things that never really took off or never really mattered to consumers. Just another icon on the box that you see. We're supposed to solve all that problems, and none of them really ever did. And most people don't want to hook stuff up. I hate hooking stuff up. I'm in a business. That's why people pay you. They don't want to hang a TV and get it level and hide the wires and make all your connections. And, you ever see these theaters online and systems, people have all this equipment. They got like a rat's nest, which just tweaks me out. But, you have to understand the flow and how systems are done. Sometimes even with the simple to use remote, if we could get to the point where you plugged and identified, which, now to a point there is, you plug it in HDMI, it knows what input you're on, and a lot of them can set up. Who's really done a good job of all that is Sonos. Like them or hate them, they have done a really good job at making, and that's why they've just destroyed Bose and everybody else out there and become the #1 selling audio product in America, maybe the world. And they sound okay. I mean, they're easy, they're small. That's what people want, man. And we're going to try to find it, but a lot of people just don't want to spend the time. They want to put in the work, Giles. I don't blame them.
Yeah, no, I get it. I hear you. But yeah, and I got a scat of other stuff. I've got to do that ultra short throw projector PX3 Pro from Hisense review. And I just did a setup and review. It's more of a setup tutorial for the Power Shades RF bridge to automate my window shades.
Yay.
Yeah. Everybody go to Instagram and then look for Power Shades, and they got this mug all up.
Shop around before you buy.
they got
telling you from experience.
I love Power Shades.
Yeah, well, I could change you on that. So sorry.
We'll have to
sorry, Power Shades.
I love Power Shades, man. Now
if you did it for a living in big homes and you had to do hundreds of them and you had a multitude of problems, you wouldn't love them. But I'm biased, so
right on.
Sorry, Giles.
As a person that's never had a problem with a Power Shade ever.
We do. Reviewers do.
So what you got? What are you going to be reviewing? What's new on your agenda? What you got?
Well, I'm reviewing an amplifier and preamp from a company called Amped America, which is kind of unique. They're also a distributor for Adcom, a legendary name. I think they're actually trying to purchase Adcom and a couple other products, but this Amped America is it comes from the guy Boris. Boris is awesome. Boris from Russia. He's a trip. Huge audiophile for decades, engineered and whatnot. He went to the best engineering school in Soviet Russia. He knows his stuff, but it's a completely American made, other than the modules. Obviously, they're Pascal. 400 watts a channel, 2-channel, in a 8 ohms, 800 watts a channel in a 4 ohms. And it is an absolute monster amp, dude. Monster. Sounds amazing. Pretty happy so far with it. Got to measure it, take it to Gene's and whatnot. I am measuring some Focal 302, which are their on-wall speakers. They make a 301 and a 302. Lifestyle product, I guess, because it's not a conventional box. And I have them on stands that they sent me, really kind of sleek. Interesting looking if you have like an IKEA contemporary environment. Amazing sound. Like you can't believe for a lifestyle type speaker, they're a legit audio product. You can mount them around a flat screen, a screen. If you want to you're trying to figure out
how wide are they?
Oh, like 5
it like
inches, maybe. They got
pretty
4-inch drivers.
Okay.
And they're inverted, dome tweeter that they use. They're really tall. They're like 47 inches, but
wow.
they make 2 versions. That's made for like a 100-inch TV or an 85. Then they make a smaller version. Really great sounding product. I've listened to them in a multitude of environments. I'm going to hang them on the wall and try them for surrounds. They're really good. And of course, probably my favorite thing I'm reviewing right now is the Arndell 1528 towers and world's largest center channel. So I'm going to call it. And I am absolutely smitten with that product. It is amazing. Absolutely.
That's
amazing.
super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of these days I want to get my hands on those too and check them out because I've only heard wonderful things about them.
Yeah, I mean, I brought them home, hooked them up, and they replaced and not replaced. I put them in and moved out the $20,000 pair of speakers that I had, and I'm telling you, dude, these things they're once the word gets out more than just influencers, it's going to be a really popular speaker. I mean, dynamically holds its own with almost anything out there. I mean, these things play incredibly loud, incredibly clean, incredibly musical. I think they look awesome, and the build quality mimics what you would find on a $30,000-$40,000 speaker. That's a fact.
That's really cool.
That's a fact.
That's really cool.
So,
right on.
Yeah, I'm digging them. I got some other stuff coming, not till I confirm, but you can get as much stuff as you want. You just got to be able to review it in a timely manner. So the key is to not take too much.
Yeah, that's always the problem. All right, so I think last topic before we sign off for the night. We're getting we're a little past time already. So if there are any questions out there, now's the time. But I do want to talk a little bit about content, right? So in the new year, I'm going to start doing like 1 or 2 movie reviews on my channel every month. And that'll be in collaboration with Kaleidoscape and some folks. But I've been watching some TV, and I just watched the new Dune television show, The Prophecy.
Killer.
It's good.
Nailed it. I mean, it's big budget. I mean, absolutely fabulous. I mean, we got some good TV now, man. From The Old Man show called The Old Man.
Oh yeah, season 2's out, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lioness. With Zoe, what's her name? The one from Avatar and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. I haven't watched that.
Great show. I mean, there's New Yellowstone just came out again. Beth, but watch that. But that Dune show, the new the Silo season 2 just came out.
Yeah, there's only one. Did you watch it?
I did. Well, I watched first episode. Mm-hmm.
So we are in spoiler world now. So everybody out there, if you don't want to be spoiled,
earmuffs.
Just don't listen to us. Turn down the sound or whatever. So Silo episode 1, I thought it was kind of cool, right? So they, she's in the other silo, right? Mm-hmm. And then she's exploring it, and then they go and they show the flashbacks of the history of that silo. And I love how they had their revolt there. Everybody's like, "Oh, we're gonna go out and the world's gonna be great," and then they're just all
like ant. All the dead. Yeah. They're doing a really good job of holding that suspense on that show. Like you just don't know, and they're continuing on, but they give you just enough to keep you engaged. It's a cool. It's for the post-apocalyptic genre, which is a genre. One of my best friends is the biggest author in that genre. And I do 1 or 2 books a week every week.
Nice,
but nobody really seems to get that genre right. Other than like what's the World War Z was probably the best of that breed, and the Book of Eli was another one. But for the most part, that terrible Obama produced movie. I mean, that most people can't get it right. Even I don't even like to do Quiet Place. I think the version 3 of the Quiet Place is terrible. But
I haven't watched the new one yet.
But the Silo is really good in that genre.
Yeah,
Fallout.
It is nice.
If you watch Fallout, I love Fallout.
Oh, Fallout! It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's really good. So my prediction for the Silo is that we're going to find out that there's like underground tunnels that connect them all secretly.
Under the water.
Yeah, under the water.
Yeah, that might. Yeah. I just don't. I wish they'd just tell you what happened to the world. Like They just make
That'd
you
be like season 8.
yeah.
If it makes to season 8, that'd be awesome. But it's really good. Where we're at now.
It's a really good show for sure.
So my standout though is I would say for folks that for this past week, the two things that I saw that I really liked: Silo season 2, episode 1. I really liked the thing we were just talking about. My brain is just gone. The Prophecy season 1, episode 1, really good. What's that?
What'd you call it?
It's called The Prophecy, right? Isn't it? Dune Prophecy.
Dune Prophecy. Okay, yeah, Dune. Yeah. It was that first episode because I read probably the most monumental book in my existence growing up as a kid. The one that had the most impact on me, even though it was a very difficult read as a middle schooler, was Dune. It gave me more insights into humanity. That I read Lord of the Rings. I read The Hobbit. Another great show. All the the Star Wars people, they hate everything that comes out for Star Wars. They hate that show because it's not Silmarillion or it's not following everything. So what? It's a killer show. Have you seen it?
Which one? The Acolyte?
I know you saw it. The Lord of the Rings TV series on Prime.
Oh yeah, I've seen season 1. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Season 2. You didn't see season 2?
No, I'm
season
behind,
2,
dude.
3 times better. 3 times better.
Really? Yeah.
Dude,
so that's on my list. So I still have to watch The Penguin. I still have to watch Shogun. There's a lot of stuff I'm behind on.
Yeah, Shogun's amazing. The Penguin is not what you think it would be. It's a legit terrific show.
Yeah. And dude, what's this, Colin Farrell or whatever?
Yeah. He should win an Emmy for that. You cannot tell it's Colin Farrell. It's a really good show, but that Shogun series, dude, my girlfriend's Japanese, getting to watch it with her.
Oh, that's cool.
She's out. They're saying stuff properly, and I always say it wrong.
Is it AMC that it's on?
It's on Hulu, maybe.
Hulu? Yeah, I think it's on something that I don't have.
It's under the Hulu umbrella. Right now.
Yeah, I gotta figure that one out. Yeah, dude, I lot of great content. So if there's anybody that's watching this now, or you watch it back later, drop a comment down below and let us know what you're going to watch. And I'll try and watch it too, because I think it's kind of cool for us all to watch the same thing. And us on FX. Thank you, Oprah Winfrey FX. So, and I don't have FX for sure. Show. Yeah, I gotta figure that out. But so this coming week, I'm sure that I'll watch and catch up on get the Silo, get the Dune, and then I got to catch up on Arcane.
Oh, I've already finished. Well, there's 3 more episodes coming, but Arcane is
that
really good.
It's animated, but don't if you're not an animation fan, you have to watch this thing anyway. Yeah. The music, the storytelling, it is completely next level, and man, it'll just break your heart. It's
that and Blue-Eyed Samurai on Netflix.
I've watched.
That's another fantastic animated show. Or Vox Machina, which is probably my favorite animated.
Yeah,
being a D&D guy,
Yeah, it is my favorite. But it's because it's D&D, and in the bar. What's this? Scanley?
Yeah, I love that. Love that character, dude. Horny little bisexual musical.
Fighting, I forget whatever it is. Maybe it's a dragon and a little baby one, and it jumps on, and he's fighting with it, and then he just goes, "Dick lightning!" and shoots a lightning.
I know. That show is. There's good TV. I can't say there's that many good movies.
Dude, there's so much good TV. And we've got another vote for Lioness.
It's really good, dude. Really good.
So Lioness
as a firearms instructor, the gunplay in that is on point.
Right. Oh, really? Okay.
It is on point.
Dude, I got to make a list of just the best stuff. And what I want to do in my theater is, a lot of people use movies for demos for obvious reasons, but I'd like to have some TV show episode things for some demo.
Do that? Review shows.
So here's another thing. So going back again to Dune Prophecy, at the very beginning of the episode, they showed a scene, which is what I would love to have a whole TV series about. It was the machine war, and it showed the big robot thing and the laser beams and stuff. And it was maybe 15 seconds, as they talk about the history. But I'm all That's the
But
show I want to see.
right, because if you go on YouTube, there's some good YouTube content that explores this crazy vast history of the Dune universe. And Machine War was like huge. You know, originally they're from Earth and blah blah blah. Of course, the TV series, the Dune TV series that's out now, takes place 10,000 years before Paul Atreides is born. So that put it in perspective of how long this goes.
It's only like, I think it's like 200 years after the Machine War. Is that right?
130. Well, God, I'm showing my nerdness.
130 years after the Machine War. Yeah.
Yeah. It's with the beginning of really the growth spurt of the Bene Gesserits and whatnot. It's really well done.
Yeah. Like, no Kwisatz Haderach back then.
Kwisatz, no Kwisatz Haderach back then.
No Kwisatz Haderach.
Muad'Dib.
Yeah. So, Muad'Dib, which means a little mouse for people who don't know.
Desert mouse. Yeah.
Oh, Mad Prawn is with us. Yeah, the Butlerian Jihad.
If you really like Dune, watch Lawrence of Arabia. Thank me later. Trust me.
Frank Herbert, PhD, right there. He says he knows it all. Nice, cool.
I went down PhD.
All right, so everybody, make sure to watch Prophecy episode 2 and watch Silo episode 2, and we'll come back next week and
we'll nerd out. We'll just geek out.
We'll
It's Geek Out with Don and Giles.
That's right. I just registered a new domain today. Domain name, theatertrends.com.
Theater Trends, huh?
Theatertrends.com. That's what I'm going to use for my email platform. So I'm setting up a new email server thing so I can send out emails and do newsletters and stuff like that. So I'm going to give that a try.
That's so funny because I just registered reviewingshills.com. We're just going to go out and say everything's great as long as they pay us.
You too can have a great review for the low price.
We'll tell you. We'll say it's good. You know I like too, man, and I know he gets a lot of hate. I don't know why. Is Andrew Robinson? That guy's just super smooth, man. He does
a
good job.
He does a fine job. Now, some of the stuff that I think he talks about is like, I'm like, I don't really necessarily believe he's hearing what all he says, but dude, he does his videos are amazing.
On point. His format on point.
And he's so pretty to look at.
Well, I don't like spinners, but he's all right.
Yeah, dude, he's so pretty to look at.
Never go to prison, Andrew. No, Andrew's. I like he's got his. It's just really well done. You know what I mean? And I hear a lot of stuff he has, so I know if he's full of shit or not. You know what I mean? I just keep that to myself. But he does a good job. I don't care what anybody does. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do, dude. You can tell somebody for $10.97, here's a goose that produces golden eggs and knows the winning lottery numbers. Somebody would hate you. Somebody would hate it.
That's right. Yeah, I agree. And then Oprah Winfrey says, Andrew's wife
she's on. You can see her on a couple of videos. They have like another YouTube channel where they're
different channel,
record shopping or eating food or whatever. And they reached out to Audioholic and some other people during the hurricane, which I thought was nice and a classy move.
That's real nice.
Now there's enough hate.
The channel that I want everyone to check out. I'm putting it in chat now. Red 2 Mouse on YouTube. That's my son's channel.
Okay.
At Red 2 Mouse. He's so good, and he's so excited. Every day he comes. So he's 15, right? So he's
very mature.
And he comes up in the morning. He'll have his phone out and he'll show it to me. It'll be on YouTube Studio, and he's all like, "Dad, I'm up to 197 subscribers." And today he's like, "Dad, I'm at 240 or whatever it was." Right.
Awesome.
And I'm so happy for him because he's just so over the moon enthusiastic. He's like, "Dad, my video's got 10,000 views now." And I'm all like, that ain't bad. For 150 subscribers, you got a 10,000 view video. That ain't.
Do you ever
bad.
Google what the most subscribers any channel has on YouTube? Some music channel has like 245 million
Yeah,
subscribers.
it's like T Series was number one for a
Something.
while.
I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like it's a channel out of India, and they do Indian music videos, T Series. And
you
then
know, right.
go ahead.
No, my girlfriend, like every day when I'm not, until I come out and hang out with her, watches this Asian guy and his little Asian kid eating food. And then before that, it was some other Asian guy looked like Jackie Chan traveling around eating food. Then some other Asian girl eating food, and like just sitting there eating food. Like that's their deal. I'm like,
Nice.
My brain's melting, but I guess it's peaceful for her. But they got like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Like unboxing videos. I still don't get that. Like, I don't want to watch somebody open a box, but people love it. You do it too, don't you? Do unboxing videos.
I'll do it occasionally. Yeah. But mine never get any traction though. I guess maybe I'm just not the guy they want to see opening the box. You know?
Some hot chick in a bikini opening boxes. Let me reach down and open this. But
that'll bring the viewers. Maybe I should wear a bikini when I do it. That you just hit on it. Banana hammock. I need to wear a banana hammock while I'm doing it. That'll be the new costume. A little nice thongy thong.
Thanks, Giles.
Yeah, you can't get it.
You probably get 2.7 million views if you did. How funny would that be?
Dude, it would be the best.
I don't know how your day job would appreciate that, but
I wouldn't have a day job anymore. I would be fired.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I got to be ready to move on at that point. I would be completely fired for sure.
I was going to do home theater interpretive dance, man, but I don't know if who knows. Maybe it'll hit.
Do ASMR, home theater ASMR. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You can hear my fingers opening the box.
I got goosebumps on that, Giles. Come on.
You guys like that? We got a bunch of viewers right now. What do you think about the ASMR?
Can you say forearm? Yeah, people are going to be like, what?
You got to get the stereo microphones though, so you can go. And then scrub this while you do. Yeah. Oh, an extra viewer just popped up. They must have known.
The Mad Piranha. The last hurricane that hit Florida. That was fun. That was interesting. I still have tarps all over my roof. I lost about a third of my shingles.
Oh no, that's no good. Sorry to hear that.
Hi, it's a rental. I don't care.
Open the boxes and eating food. Oh.
Oh, you could.
Yeah. Or how about
open the box with the food in it?
Well, I was going to do like home theater food reviews, like the best pizza for home theater, right? The best snacks for home theater.
Well, Matt Pose, right? Pose Acoustics. He works with his Audio-Holics, good friend of mine. Matt's like a chef, and he's good at everything he does. We're going to do like another show that my girlfriend watches is like this Korean chef guy. He's super cool, and he gets all these celebrities on. And he cooks, and they just talk. And it's kind of mesmerizing. It's cool. We're going to do like the version of that. So I just want to get a Matt meal. So I'm down for whatever.
That's cool. That's awesome. All right, we're going to go ahead and call this because we are past time. So everybody that's hanging out with us, I appreciate you sticking around for the whole show. And folks that have just joined, man, come back at the beginning next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 8, 9, or 10 Eastern. And you can hear all the stuff. He says, I don't eat in the theater, don't want food smells in the basement. No, I get that. I totally understand. Although in my mind, milk duds don't have a smell. So they are totally fine.
That guy doesn't smoke weed because he doesn't eat in the theater. Smoke some weed, you'll eat in the theater.
Yeah. All right. Don, any closing words for the people out there?
Just you got a lot of people out there trying to help you guys out, make good decisions that genuinely love the business and care about the business and are enthusiasts just like you. It's just like living the dream as an enthusiast, Don't hate if you can't. Get a Coke and a smile. We all love each other. I know that's never going to fly, but just give your reviewer, your favorite reviewers, a little break, man. It's all right.
And your channel, call yourself out, man.
Just starting, not much there, but Digital Dawn AV, and starting either next week or the week after that, every Monday at 8:00 Eastern, I'm going to have a weekly live stream on Audioholics where I'm going to have a multitude of guests, industry professionals, manufacturers, and theater design experts, just stuff that's all relevant to the hobby and what we're doing. I'll have you on, obviously, Giles.
Sure, anytime.
Do that, and we'll cover a lot of really cool subjects, man. I mean, it's just it's fun. If you look, the more stuff you give us on feedback for things you'd like to know about, the better we can serve you and what we do and try to answer questions. You have Patreon, Giles?
I do, but I don't really do anything with it, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, it's a lot of work. I mean, people need to get something for their, $2.
Exactly. Yeah. I make videos and I live stream. So, and I don't know how I make Patreon work with that. You know what I mean? I don't have a value
it's time. I work a very intense job. I have a bunch of interest. I do podcasts and stuff in other arenas and realms, and I'm into a lot of stuff. I design knives, like professionally. I know it sounds weird, but I mean, it's one of my things. But I'll probably eventually have a Patreon. But if I do it, I want to people to have access for something. You know what I mean? Get something in return for it. I might also do consulting, for a feed, because I feed my family just like you do, and do private consulting for people if they want to spend an hour talking to me about choices of product and what they want to do in their room. Should I run this? If you're building a house, want to wire it, whatever, if you're in my area, then my company that I Sound Ideas will obviously take care of you. But if you just want some advice, I'm going to get into that. And,
that's cool.
Not so much because I'm, at whatever, and for a session, I'm not going to get rich, but I mean, I just want to be compensated a little bit for my time and my years of experience then. And, I think it'd be cool. I'm hoping to do it. I know Gene does it a lot, but he gets kind of busy. So when I do Patreon, eventually I'll have to have my schedule cleared a little bit. Otherwise I won't do it.
Yeah. I think the only thing that I thought of that I could do for Patreon would be to have not like a 99-cent tier, but have a $50 tier, but they get, the person would get 30 minutes a month or something.
I plug one of my knives?
There's a question if you do Damascus.
No, I don't. We don't do Damascus because there's only, you either get Pakistani Damascus, which is garbage, or you can get Alabama Damascus, which is actually pretty good, but it's expensive and it's not the best deal for a working knife. They're beautiful. So this is a knife that I designed called the Dalton. I've got the handle wrapped. It is based on a kukri. I co-designed this knife with a gentleman named Alan Kay, who was on the TV show Alone, season 1. He actually won. He was in the woods with 10 items for 57 days. It is a multi-purpose blade, push cuts, pull cuts, baton. Anyways, not to get too deep into it, but
it looks cool.
This is available at angryamerican.com, ANGERY. It's misspelled purposely, angryamerican.com. And they're $350, and they're all hand built here in the USA with American steel by real Americans. Americans. It's actually a really great blade. I'm going to shoot a video. I sell Angry Americans. My buddy, it's an author. He's a very, very popular author, and he writes post-apocalyptic, end of the world kind of books that are really good. And it's called the Dalton, based on a character from the book, and it's a legit knife. I've had several survival experts, including guys that have been on the Discovery Channel, well-known entities. I was going to get Bear Grylls to look at it, but he was too busy drinking his own piss, so I couldn't get him. But it's legit. So anyways, Angry, ANGERY, American.com.
Check him out. Check him out. All right, folks, that's it. We're going to call it.
Thank you.
Don, thank you. Everybody that's watching, thank you. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, at Giles McCoy, at Digital Don AV. We'll be back next week with great new content. We'll talk about those shows. If you have anything you want to talk about, drop it down in the notes. We'll make sure to be prepared for you next week. And with that, take care, buddy. See you.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.